Benjamin Netanyahu, is there a risk of radicalizing Palestinians for the next 50 years? The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is not new news. The cycle of violence has been repeating itself for many decades, causing immense suffering on both sides. However, recent actions by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have sparked international concerns. The recent bombings of civilians in Gaza, while framed as a response to Hamas rocket attacks, seem to be a disproportionate use of force. They have resulted in an alarming number of innocent civilian casualties, including many children. The heavy-handed approach of Netanyahu's administration has led to new fears among international observers. Not only is this situation causing immediate harm, but it also has the potential to breed deep-seated resentment and radicalize Palestinians for years to come. While Israel has every right to defend itself against attacks, the scale of its response raises ethical questions. Is this strategy effective for long-term peace, or is it only fueling the fire of generations-long strife? Of particular concern is the damage being done to the psyche of the Palestinian youth. Witnessing such violence and loss at a young age can plant seeds of hatred, resentment, and radicalism that bloom over time. Netanyahu's approach fails to address the root causes of the conflict. Rather than pursuing a peaceful resolution, this militarized response only perpetuates a cycle of violence and vengeance. Humanitarian experts argue that the focus should be on negotiation and reconciliation. By reaching a peaceful resolution, both Israelis and Palestinians can coexist in a mutually beneficial relationship. However, Netanyahu's actions seem to take Israel further away from this ideal. Instead of fostering peace, these attacks appear to create more division, more hostility, and more radicalism. The international community has a responsibility to intervene. It is imperative to hold leaders accountable for their actions, especially when they risk radicalizing a whole generation. The potential for a more peaceful future in the Middle East is being jeopardized by Netanyahu's approach. The cycle of violence can only be broken by diplomacy, negotiation, and mutual respect. It's important to remember that the victims of this conflict are not just numbers or statistics. They are people, with dreams, families, and futures. Their lives matter, as do their perceptions of the world and their place in it. Netanyahu's strategy in bombing civilian areas of Gaza not only risks escalating the current conflict, it threatens the prospect of peace for the next 50 years. The challenge is clear: how can we break the cycle of violence and pave the way for peace? This is a question that requires immediate attention from leaders worldwide. In conclusion, Netanyahu's approach in dealing with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is risky. It threatens to radicalize Palestinians for the next 50 years, making the prospect of peace in the Middle East even more elusive. In the quest for peace, it's important to remember the cost of war. Let us hope that leaders can find the courage to choose diplomacy over destruction, dialogue over division, and peace over radicalism. Welcome to Fire in the Minds. Imagination ignited, we begin a journey of exploration together. This is Fire in the Minds. Here, we challenge conventional thinking, unearthing answers hidden in life's most baffling questions. Join us as we dive deep into geopolitics, symbolism, philosophy, and the magic of everyday life. Subscribe to Fire in the Minds, where curiosity burns bright. Welcome to the community of thinkers, dreamers, and seekers.